Hi, everybody, and I'm back this week. They say that you are generally known by the company you keep, and I think Make It Myself is just getting bigger because the person I have today, as you can see, it says Dr. Palash Sen, and I don't know what to say, Palash, you have made my day.
I hope I've made many of your ears also. So many.
Lots, lots. I think, मैंने अपनी जवानी निकाली है आपको जान के.
नहीं नहीं अभी तो आपका बचपना खत्म हुआ अभी तो जवानी शुरू होनी है यार व्हाट आर यू टॉकिंग अबाउट कैसी हाउ आर यू
Man,
सोमनी
I am very good. Thankfully, health is good. Touch wood. So, and it's good to see you. I love your new hairdo. It's like super cool.
it's it's not hair do it's hair growth It's not do ये सब hair growth है and just घर की खेती उग रही है उगने दो
I want to know, how does your wife and your son and everybody have to react to this? You have a daughter as well, no, Palash?
yeah yes
So are you
so
competing
there's
with her hair growth?
Actually, right now, I think everybody's competing with my hair growth. I'm telling you, I'm very honest about this. Everybody's competing with my hair growth. And the funniest thing is, Somani, I always had hair like this as a child. I was always having long hair. And then I went into
Very
medicine. Ab, ऐसे बालों के साथ, if you walk into a class or into the clinicals or into the hospital, nobody's going to listen to you and nobody's going to take your medicine. मतलब बहुत मुश्किल होता है. So this COVID actually gave me a chance to get all the hair back, and I'm not going to any salon, so I'm not getting it cut. I'm just
okay.
waiting. थोड़ा सा और निकल जाने दो time, and I know things have been really good, so I'm just saying this is ये भोले बाबा का आशीर्वाद है. I'm going to keep it.
And this is natural perm या ये बनाया गया है?
नहीं यार, this is the way my hair is. This is what it is.
That's so freaking unfair. We women have to go to a parlor to get this look, and look at you, man. But
No, this is my hair. This is it. What you see is what you get. That's it.
what?
इसमें कुछ नकली नहीं है. शक्ल भी यही है, बाल भी यही है, बाकी सब मैं क्या क्या बताऊं, सभी कुछ वही है और कुछ नहीं है.
I take your word for it. I'm not going to ask you
You
for
know,
proof.
so many, you know me for too long to know that my word is the word. और कुछ भी नहीं है. There's nothing.
But Palash is so funny. I have known you for what, 1998 was the first time we met,
Yeah,
right? Because
22,
that's when
22 years. Yeah.
that's when I joined Channel V. But I never asked you, when did you become a doctor and when did you become a singer? I don't even remember asking you this question.
Actually, we never had these kind of conversations ever, Somani. So I'm actually very
Yeah.
happy for this broadcast that you're doing.
Okay.
Let me just tell everybody that like she met me in '98, but I was watching her on TV before '98 because everybody knows this. Somani is a great singer, and I remember her music video had already come out, and I was wondering who's this pretty girl? ये कौन है यार?
Ah.
And then I meet her at Channel V, and the pretty girl happens to be controlling my destiny. So suddenly वो कहाँ मतलब
Well, if you had called me a pretty girl, then your destiny would have been somewhere else.
no,
And
see, I mean, I was extremely shy at that time. I don't know if you remember that, but I was a very shy
yes,
guy, and I've always been this Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. There's always been that's part of my persona. So I just want to tell everybody that when I met Somini, I mean, it was such a phenomenal because I had already known her as a great singer, and then when I met her, I suddenly met a person who actually was dedicated to her job, and she was a no nonsense person, and that's who she's remained all these years. And I'm extremely proud to call her my friend and be her friend. 22
oh,
years I've known her, and 22 years, I think what she was standing for 22 years back is exactly what she's standing for even now. And maybe she's the only, the word is last man standing, but she's a last woman standing for what she stands for. And so you never asked me about
yeah,
this. So, Somani, I became a doctor way back in 1990. So that's when I
okay,
became a doctor.
okay.
But the singing was always there. I think, पैदा होते ही गाना शुरू कर दिया था. और जिसने भी मुझे डिलीवर किया होगा उसके लिए तो पहला गाना गा ही दिया होगा मैंने. आपको पता ही है, मैं सारे all my songs are about unrequited love, and what better person to sing for but the nurse whoever must be standing over there. Anyway, so I was yeah, so singing was always there. Papa used to
Right,
sing, Kaka used to sing, my dadu used to sing. It was music in the family, and medicine
right,
also was also in the family. I mean,
right.
it's been generations and generations of musicians and doctors, and here I am. That's it.
Wow. But, I mean, did you practice as a doctor and had your own
Yeah,
clinic or, okay.
yeah.
So, yeah, okay.
So
And,
I'm just going to show you a bit. Okay, so this is what you're
okay.
seeing is the clinic as the studio. Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
This
Okay.
is my. It's called the clinic also. Now you see the door at the back.
Yeah.
Behind the door is a brown wall that you're seeing.
Yeah, yeah.
So that is my actual medical clinic.
वाह तो आप
So
पेशेंट्स को वहां वहां लेके जाते हो या यहाँ लेके आते हो
वो उनके ऊपर डिपेंड करता है, जो जिस तरफ से परेशान हो जाता है दूसरी तरफ चले जाता है, इट्स सिंपल। एक ही प्रॉब्लम है स्वामिनी, वो ये है कि पहले लोग मुझे दिखाने आते थे, अब देखने आते हैं। दैट्स द ओनली डिफरेंस।
so you are a like a general physician, right?
I'm a
I
general
mean,
physician, yes, yeah,
okay,
and I've done my house job in orthopedics, and
okay,
so I started off on a very unfortunate note. My father, he expired, way back, and
okay.
he actually passed away at his clinic, and
Oh,
I had all these plans of doing other things, and studying more, but somehow destiny shapes your life, and I took over Papa's clinic, and I really don't think I was well versed with taking over his clinic, but I did, and things work out, somehow they work out,
yeah,
and so it was more a tryst with destiny that happened, and yeah, so I took over Papa's clinic, and that's how I started practicing, and I
right,
practiced to date, so many, because that is my deal with my mom. Ma said,
right.
तुमने इतनी पढ़ाई कर रखी है, एक सीट का तुमने सत्यानाश कर रखा है, अगर तुम इसके बाद जाके सिर्फ सिंगर बनोगे तो मुझे बहुत खराब लगेगा। तो
But
well
it's
she
amazing. I mean, I think the amazing thing is music also. You're possibly one of the few people who has a dual career, and both
yeah, yeah,
successful in that sense. So I know you with Dhoom Pichak, but
yep.
what happened before Dhoom Pichak for Dhoom Pichak to happen?
So pre Dhoom Pichak there was only Doom, and after Dhoom Pichak also there's only Dooms.
Don't say that, man. Don't say that.
So my life is more like Doomsday.
Doomsday, not Doomsday. Doomsday.
So before Dhoom, so many, I mean, it, yeah. You again, I'm going to give everybody
यार
this trivia.
मुझे
So
अभी ना बुढ़ापा आ गया है तो थोड़ा मेमोरी वीक है तो मैं बोल रही हूँ कि चलो वापस अगर थोड़ा because I'll tell you something. In fact, the irony of it, Palash, is while you went through a journey, I think
mhm.
today's independent artists also could learn from, how did you do it? How did you go
Yeah,
about doing it? Of course, you landed up releasing your first song through a label, but
yeah.
some parts of your journey, I mean, Archie Comics was not I mean, Archie Comics, I'm saying Archie Music was not
It was comics only.
sorry. No.
It was comics only. ठीक बोला तुमने.
But I mean, what I meant to say is they were not a label, right? So in that sense, you did land up doing things which were pretty much independent in a way. So yeah,
Uh,
I
so,
mean,
so actually, Euphoria was formed way back in 1988. It's amazing that we are already sitting almost 32 years back that the band was formed, and
wow.
it was formed just as a college band. Just having fun, and I mean, I think people know about me. I really realized when I went to college that the easiest way to impress all the chicks is to get on stage. सबसे आसान तरीका वही होता है. मतलब not women like you, but so
Why
anyway,
not women like me?
I don't know. I was not in your college. मुझे पता नहीं तुम क्या करती थी. विवेक को बताओ, मुझे नहीं पता. I have no idea. So anyway, I just we made a band. So the band the band was actually a pre-existing band called Night Shift, which
Okay.
had my friends in it. They were my friends, and Ashok and Jutti and Sunil. They were all my friends, and I used to just go and hang out with them in their practices. And then one day, they were not very happy with their lead singer at that time, and they asked her to leave. And just I was standing over there, and they said, you become our lead singer. I was like, kya baat kar rahe ho? And I was always singing. I was taking part in competitions, college, that
Right.
college
Yeah.
competitions, stuff like that. So they
Right.
said, okay,
Right.
fine, why don't you join? And I said, okay, fine. No, no, it is a dream come true. Make a band, and that's how the band. So the band was called Night Shift actually. And when I joined
Okay.
the band, and then I suggested a night shift sounds more of a different kind of a job. I'm not going to elaborate what kind of a job, but It sounds like it sounds like a different kind of a job, and we I don't think we are ready for that kind of a job. Though we are interested, but anyway, we're not. Anyway, then I suggested, why don't we change the name? I gave them two, three options. First option was definitely diarrhea. Second option,
Diarrhea. Oh my god. That would have been something.
so first option was diarrhea. Second option was gonorrhea. Third option was pyrrhea.
कुछ भी.
But then I came out to Euphoria. They say ये सबसे अच्छा लगता है ये रख लो.
Yeah, इसमें कुछ दम है.
इसमें कुछ दम है. नहीं तुम सोचो यार अभी हम लोग स्टेज पे जा रहे हैं and you know somebody's announcing us. They say please put your hands together for India's loved band Diarrhea. So thank goodness good sense prevailed and we called it Euphoria. So one thing led to another, and I'll just tell you how things happen. So many. I was always very interested in putting out our music. You know, what is our music? But that
Right.
time, I think the whole thing was doing covers. You know, see, I used
Yeah.
to look up to people like Industreet, who used to be called Rock Machine, and there was a band called 1380. There was a band called
Right.
Vishnu.
Right.
All these people, Electric Plant. You know, all these guys were the big dudes at that time, and I used to look up to them. You know, we should also make our own band. The only problem with them, most of them, was that they were all known for their covers.
Right.
Parikrama was before us. Then Indian Ocean was before us. Indian Ocean were
Right.
the only guys who were putting out music that was their own. You know,
Right.
but it was
Right.
primarily instrumental music. I mean, they were an instrumental band. So I mean, in my head, it was always that fact that, you know, why don't we take out original Indian music? So
Right.
we made a lot of English covers, English originals, and you know, when I was making the English originals, I started realizing people are not reacting to, because by that time Industreet's albums had come out, about two albums had come out, and they got an
Right.
okay response. They didn't get a mind-blowing response. And then, you know, the people who were ruling the roost was Daler Mehendi or, you know, Alisha Chennai, you know,
Correct. Correct. Yeah.
has always been the case. So what I realized that, you know, the problem is that we are not an indigenous band. We are not talking about you know, our country. We are still talking about very hi-fi stuff, you know, that is that very privileged kids, you know, who go to convents and stuff like that, you know, Christian Brothers schools, who speak about. I went to a
Right.
Christian Brothers school. I went to St. Columbus.
No, and one more thing also, Palash, at that time, if you remember, satellite TV had just
Correct.
come in, and you know, people were getting influenced by this whole Western. I remember before satellite TV, when we had Top of the Pops in Doordarshan,
Yes,
that
yes.
was like, wow, you know, like hamari aankhein khul gayi. It was
Bilkul,
like that.
bilkul. And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember we used to wait for those half an hour clips that used to come, you know. Anyway, so yeah, we used to wait for them. So now I suddenly then, what happened was that, you know, I think it was 1992 or 93, you know, I heard a song by a band called Junoon,
Right.
and Junoon was singing in Urdu, you know,
Correct.
and the song went like Heere ni heere chhadi na kadi sajna no ni heere. So I'm just thinking, यार ये तो पंजाबी उर्दू सब कुछ मिला के रॉक कर रहे हैं, ये तो कमाल की बात है. Simultaneously, I don't know if you remember, there was a Mandarin band called Tang Dynasty that came out, and
Okay.
they were singing in Mandarin, they were in the
Right.
Chinese
Right.
language, and we were huge fans of Scorpions, and I got to know that the original Scorpions music that we were singing in English was actually in Deutsch. So then it came to
Okay.
me कि यार ये Deutsch में गा सकते हैं, वो उर्दू में गा सकते हैं, वो Mandarin में गा सकते हैं, तो हम हिंदी में क्यों नहीं गा सकते?
Correct. Correct.
So I remember there were two bands who actually started doing this at the same time. One was Euphoria and one was Silk Route,
Yes. Correct.
Mohit's band.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
and we
Yes.
both actually approached the same label at the same time, and through the same what should I broker? Let me call him a broker. So we approached the same label at the same time, and that label didn't think. I remember Suresh was heading that label, and Suresh didn't think that we were good enough. So Suresh signed Silk Route.
Silk Road. Yeah.
Yeah, and by that time we already had a demo which had some Hindi songs. In fact, there was the only one Hindi song that we recorded that time called Shanana.
Yeah.
उसके पहले we had a lot of English you know, originals that we had again made into a demo, and we took it to a company called Magna Sound. It is another story what happened over there. It's something I'll always remember, but chalo jo hua so hua. We went to them, we went to Times, we went to so let's not say I went to everybody. I went to everybody. सबके पास गया. तब तक, you know, band lineup change हो गया. New people came into the band. Matlab, it was harakiri. You cannot imagine. The only guy who was really standing by me, and you know him, is DJ. DJ was the only guy, and everybody else. We had a guy in the band who was playing with 9 bands at the same time. Somebody else was playing with 2 bands. Somebody else was playing with 4 bands. So it was a very, very, very
Right.
bad time for us.
Right.
But let me just tell you, so many everybody who's listening to this, I just want to tell them that the path is extremely difficult. It's not going to be easy, and everybody rejected us. Everybody rejected us. And I remember there was this one gentleman. His name was Mr. Pandit. I do not know which company he used to head at that time. Anyway, so I
Hmm.
met him also, and he actually he उसने मेरी बत्ती मार दी. I'm sorry to use that word, but उसने मेरी completely बत्ती मार दी कि ये क्या म्यूजिक है, ये तो कुछ भी नहीं है, मतलब कुछ भी नहीं है, गाना ही है तो ना कुछ हमारी बारे में बात करो ना, इंडिया के बारे में बात करो. मुझे I felt very bad about his ceremony, but when I went back, no, his words were the most inspirational to me because I realized that what he was saying was not wrong. It was
Hmm.
not wrong. It
Hmm.
was right.
Hmm.
And when I came back, and then we had a new set of songs, and I was being interviewed like this by this channel which was called TV18, and now it's a huge
Okay.
conglomerate at that time.
Right.
So I remember TV18 interviewing me, and I was I was singing one song. It was called "Ma Mein Hara Nahi," and I was
Hmm.
singing, 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 singing. And the next day only, I got a call from Mr. Anil Chandani of Archie's Music, and he called up and he
Right.
said, "Just come. I want to meet you." I went to meet
Right.
him. He gave me a check. I'm talking about 1998 March. He gave me a check of 2.5 lakh rupees. He said,
Wow.
"This is all I have. I want the entire album in this much." I called up DJ. DJ said,
Wow.
"Let's do it." So many we did that entire album in 11 days. In 11 days,
Wow.
we recorded 13 songs. 11 days we recorded it. And I still remember when the whole there's so many stories, but your program will go on forever. I just want to say this that
I'm
I told
surprised. Sorry, I have to. Sorry to cut you, but I'm surprised even during my Channel V days when we interacted, I didn't know this part of the story. It's amazing.
yeah.
It's amazing. And yeah, please continue. Yeah.
So I remember when the last song on the album was Dhoom Pichak. That was the last song that we did. And
Okay.
none of my bandmates liked it. Nobody liked it except in DJ because DJ liked anything I did. He said, "Yeah, bahut hai, bahut hai, bahut hai."
So
So
sweet.
nobody else liked it. All my other guys, because they were all again that entire westernized thing was too strong. Guitars
Yeah.
kahan hai, drums kahan hai, bass kahan hai, keyboard kahan hai. Anyway, so when I took Dhoom Pichak and I went to Pradeep Sarkar, he absolutely loved it. And one thing led to another, and he said, "Okay, fine, Palash, what is your plan after this?" I said, "Dada, this is it. हमारे music को कौन सुनेगा? Who's going to listen to our music? This is it. हो गया, ये करेंगे, वापस चले आएंगे.
Yeah.
I'll be a doctor again. DJ will do whatever. हम लोग सब कुछ करेंगे." He said, "अच्छा, okay, fine." So we went to my hometown, Banaras, shot the video.
Hmm.
When I
Hmm.
came back, I still remember on the way back in the train, I told the entire band, कि guys, this has been a great journey, but I was already actually fed up कि यार मैं कहाँ इतना बैंड को संभालूंगा. तो मैंने याद है मैं सबको बोला था कि let's forget about it. इसके बाद तो कुछ होना नहीं है. Nobody's going to listen to us. Let's go and do whatever we were doing. Anyway, uh, the edit happened. Somni, I went and saw the rushes of Dhoom Pichak, and DJ was standing outside, and I came outside and I told DJ, I
Hmm.
said, "DJ, get ready for a lifetime of Euphoria." And he said, "Why are you
Wow.
saying that?" He said,
Huh.
"Why are you saying that?" I said, "What we are creating right now, na, logon ki fat jayegi. I know it." And I can give all credit to Pradeep Da. I can give all credit to DJ. All these people who stood up for for Euphoria, for me, and all the other bandmates also. Whatever it is, they all listened to whatever I told them, and eventually, whatever happened has happened for the best. It's
So
like quicksand. Hmm.
tell me, Palash, how did Shubhaji come into that song? And how did you,
So
I mean, when did you know, you knew Pradeep Da from before, or how did that meeting happen?
no, I knew because I used to sing jingles for him.
Okay. Okay.
So that's the funniest part. I used to sing jingles for him. I used to sing jingles for Shujit as in Sarkar. I used to
Okay.
sing jingles for everybody. I mean, anybody you can think of who was from Delhi at that time who went to Bombay. I was
Right.
singing jingles
Right.
for everybody, and
Okay.
anyway, so I was singing jingles for them, and eventually, they all worked for Euphoria, and it was a very heartening thing for me. I knew Dada from earlier. Shubaji happened to be the client of my sister's, Dalia, who happens to be a copyright lawyer. Shubaji
Right.
was her client. And I
Wow.
remember, I listening to her voice and thinking, यार कितना अच्छा है. And धूम पिचक में अगर एक ये part आ जाएगा तो मजा आ जाएगा. It will be phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I still remember my son at that time was just he was a little boy in 1990. He was just about 2.5, 3 years old, and I met him. Not met him. I drove him. I was driving him, and he was sitting next to me, छोटा सा बच्चा. So I said, Kinshuki, I was thinking, let's get Shubha aunty for this song. And he's telling me, छोटा सा बच्चा, he's telling me, yeah, Papa, do it.
How sweet. How
Yeah,
sweet.
and yeah, so I said, oh shucks. So then I approached Shubhaji through Dahlia, through my sister. And
Nice.
she agreed. And I remember she came to the studio and she sang phenomenally. And I told her at the end of it, I said, ma'am, how much of a check should I sign? She said, no way am I taking money from you. No way. I've
Oh,
done this for you. I've done this for
nice.
music. So I can tell you this, so many, just like I've met some very strange people in my life, I've met some very good people in my life. And Shubhaji is one of them. It's been
Yeah.
22 years, and I don't think there's anybody that I look up to more than her. I really look up to her.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
Shubhaji, that's how she came in and just sang, what she did. And it's history now.
Now, so before we talk any further, I've got people who have been messaging you here, and I just thought I should. So, Jasleen Olak, I'm sure you know her.
Of
She's
course,
from
Jasleen, yeah.
Delhi. Yeah, so she says you're
She's
dhoom
from
all the
Chandigarh.
way.
She's from
Oh,
Chandigarh.
अच्छा मेरे ससुराल से है चलो.
तुम्हारी ननद है.
मेरे Okay, Mansi Sharma is saying that she wants to hear you sing Dhoom Pichak. So, do you want to do that?
Of course.
Okay.
यार पहली बात तो जिंदगी में मौका मिला है 100 के लिए कुछ गाने दो यार. हे यार मेरी धड़कन यारे चांद के हैं संग सितारे साथ रहते हैं वो सारे मैं अकेला रे खिल खिलाती है वो नदिया में है कि नैया का मैं हूँ खिवैया क्यों अकेला रे अब आ भी जा सबको पता क्या तेरा मेरा नाता रे तुम हो मेरी मैं तुम्हारा छोटा सा संसार हमारा आगे जाने राम क्या होगा कहता है जो कहे जमाना तेरा मेरा प्यार पुराना आगे जाने राम क्या होगा.
My God, that's like it's a never gets old song. Yeah, all your
no
songs.
Way.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. I mean, I remember Palash when you had the release of your album with Universal Music. I remember you had the launch at Hard Rock Cafe.
Yeah.
And I will never forget that scene. I actually tell people about it. I was standing on top and you were singing Mairi. And you actually weren't singing because everybody else was singing Mairi. It was amazing. I mean, I don't know what you felt as an artist, having that kind of a fan following, but it was awesome to watch that.
I just feel a lot of humility, actually my life, I always look back and I think, there's a lot of blessings. And I look at us, we are speaking to each other. And again, let me tell everybody, Soumini, we fight a lot also, but the kind of respect I have for her is unbelievable. She's been my one constant friend for so many years. And I just thank God for that, because I think, this is what life is all about. If you can be friends with somebody, have differences, disagreements, and still stay friends. Actually, that is true friendship. Everything else, तो आपको पता ही है, कि किसको किससे कितना फायदा है, And I feel that, that is something that I've always been blessed with. That, people who have followed and liked Euphoria have liked us for the music, and that's about it. There's no hype around us. There is no, we are not a glamorous band. We never had glamorous videos, or never a hyped up band. But the kind of support.
That I will stop. You've had some of the really good videos. I remember Tum was very glamorous. You've had glamorous, what do you say, special appearances, whether it was, I forget the name. I can't believe I forget the name of the actress who's now a big Vidya Balan. Vidya Balan. I actually forgot her name. Neha.
Neha, how can you forget Vidhu? Yaar? ऐसा मत बोलो यार.
See, I am so not Bollywood, that's the reason.
देखो, you're talking to somebody who's Pollywood. He's not Bollywood, he's Pollywood.
No, but I mean, that's exactly what I'm saying. We've had such amazing stuff coming from Euphoria. Every song, whether it was Mehfooz, whether it was the first album,
Yeah.
album after
So,
album.
Somini, that is the thing, I think the videos, the way we were, I mean, the whole idea of keeping us very, very simple, wearing whites, primarily, it was my idea always was that, we are always going to be a people's band because I think
Right.
bands forget about that. Bands feel that, we are special, we are, above everybody and we are like, we are too cool, nobody can touch us, stuff like that. But I thought it is better to be a people's band because that is what I think identified us and also connected us to the people because nobody ever thought these guys are intimidating or they try to be very cool or very big or whatever. We were the people's rock stars and that is something I
Right.
really really tried very hard. And then we had the right guys to work with us: Pradeep Sarkar, Shujit Sarkar, Dibakar Banerjee, Amitabh Bhattacharya. मैं कितना लोगों के नाम लूंगा, Vikram Mishra. Everybody who came and worked with Euphoria actually understood what was the core gene of Euphoria, what was the DNA, what was the makeup, and we all worked like that. And I think the whole idea of us wearing coordinated clothes, wearing the same thing, and it was very very simple. That I think the whole idea was the glamour has to come from the filmmaking, the glamour has to come from
Yeah.
the song. It was not
Yeah.
about us, how cool we are and wearing leather or whatever. We were not like that, and
But I have
I
to
think it
ask you
worked.
this, Palash. Like you mentioned about the band and the whole journey of being a band. That's something that I would also like to ask you. That today we see a lot of bands, right? We've seen college bands come out. We've seen groups like, the multiple of
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
The
yeah,
the local train in
yeah,
Delhi is considered
yeah,
as a very, and I've seen them perform. I think the drummer is amazing.
yeah.
So what has been your challenge or even your experience of keeping a band together?
That's the
Uh,
biggest challenge. That is the biggest challenge. You know it more than anybody else. That's the biggest challenge. The thing is this. Somni, I've always thought of the band as a family. I've always thought of
right,
it as a family.
right,
But there are some rules and regulations in a family also. It's like
of course,
you cannot have a setup of a family when it works for you, and suddenly it doesn't because it's not working for you. Not suddenly not a family. It cannot work like that. If it's a family,
yeah,
then it's a family. It always works like that. So one of the things I always did was, first of all the money that came into Euphoria was divided equally. It was never unequal. It was not I'll get more or X will get more. No, everybody got the money equally, and I always kept a certain amount, which was like the kitty, the bank. Okay, fine.
yeah,
If we need to do anything, the money is going to go for. So that's the first thing I did. The second
right,
thing I did was that I never ever thought of I was the leader. I am the leader, but I always was the hardest working man in the band. Also, it was also the fact that if anything had to be done, I was the first one to put up my hand. Also, okay, fine, okay, I will do it. That was the second reason.
yeah,
Third
yeah,
reason being, the third reason being, I never had an ego when it came to my band. Never.
sure,
I never had
sure,
an ego when it
yeah.
came to my band. And
And
I think
I've
these are
seen
the,
that. I mean, Palash, I've seen that when you used to do, the Channel V lives and all of those. I mean, it was always, the whole, even when we did Jammin,
yeah.
the whole experience of having the band together and just being a part of, it's one could definitely see that. But I always wonder, and I think like the big part of what you said about the band is the commercial side.
Yeah.
How do
Yeah.
you keep a band alive, and how actively do you see your? Were you always leading the band when it came to the
Yeah.
commercial side, or is that something that even other band members participated in?
See, the thing was that it was something which was very clear that first, obviously, I started off because I was the manager, whatever. Then what I started doing was that once the shows used to come, I used to give it to different people in the band. Like, okay, fine,
Right,
you handle the show, you handle the show, you handle. So that was how we used to do at that time till
right,
2010 when Alok took over. Alok then became the manager, and I really thought it really brought a very very fresh perspective to the band. A, because Alok was
yeah,
much younger, it made a very very
yeah,
big difference.
yeah,
His language was different, so when he was dealing with the college people, it was very different than what it would be with
right,
us. So
right,
that's how it happened. See, the band was always very democratic. So eventually whoever left the band, because they left the band with so much of grudges and so many problems, that sometimes it actually I started questioning myself only कि मैंने ठीक किया कि मैंने गलत किया. What did I do, which was so wrong that
mm,
somebody had so many grudges. But then I realized that is life, that is how
yeah,
life goes
yeah,
on. It's
Yeah.
never, everybody is not going to look at everything the same way. It's not possible. One thing
Trust. Yeah.
one thing I know,
No, go ahead.
you work
Yeah.
with so many people, and I know so many how you have worked also. I've always known how you worked. And I think more or less, even though you were working in very, very commercial setups, you had a very democratic way of looking at things. And I know it. But the thing
Right.
is this, the thing is that, maybe the way I was looking at things, others were not looking at the things at the same way. So at
True.
one point
True.
there is going to be a problem, there is going to be a clash. But I also believe there's so many, जिंदगी में
Yeah.
जो भी होता है ना, वो हमेशा better के लिए होता है, हमेशा
I
सबके
completely
लिए
agree
better
with
के लिए
you.
होता है. Yeah, it's not,
Absolutely. Yeah.
it's if you love somebody, you set them free, and if they come back to you, they were yours, and if they don't, they never were. So it's,
Right.
I believe that. So तो मैं जितने भी बैंड्स हैं मैं उनको यही बोलूंगा that the whole band setup has to be about one for all and all for one. The only thing with the bands I'm seeing now, they're not more than 3 people, 4 people, 5 people in the band. Euphoria right now is 12 people on stage and 4 people off stage. So that's a very, very big setup. 16 people is
Yeah.
a huge setup.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
you see, like DJ's now been with the band now for, like he's been with the band longer than I've been married. So you can imagine. So DJ's been there. Prashant and Rakesh have been with the band now for 20 years.
Wow.
Alok's been with the band for 10 years. Our guitar players have been with the band for the last 10 years. I mean, what do I say? 10 years is a long
Yeah.
time. Even the guy who
Does
does
your
lights with us, a
yeah.
couple who does, or sorry, our engineer, Vikram.
Right.
Vikram's now been with the band for 16 years. And
Wow.
a guy who does lights with us, he's been with the band for the last 15 years. So you can imagine these are relationships that have been made. I've made
Yeah.
relationships over years. And yeah, I'm not a very social person, it, but then मैं जिसके
Yeah.
साथ दोस्ती करता हूँ ना, वो फिर हमेशा के लिए ही होती है, वो कहीं रुकती नहीं है. Eric,
Correct.
Eric has been now mixing Euphoria for 22 years, close to, sorry, 21 years.
Wow.
21 years he's done all our mixes, and that's the kind of
Yeah.
relationships I make.
No, and that's the beauty. You can see the product, you can see the love coming out, even when you look at the songs, when you look at I remember when we did Mehfooz, when I was in your life putting Mehfooz together with the label.
So
And
that is one more trivia I want to tell everybody. So Somni was managing Euphoria for close to 1 year, where she was the one
I
who
wasn't
actually.
managing. I only got that
I
album
mean,
deal.
oh
That's
no,
it.
but managing our creative side.
Yeah.
Because she was
Yeah.
very, very actively involved in us getting the deal with HMV Saregama for Mehfooz. And I'm telling you this, I've not seen anybody who works with the kind of dedication that she does. And again, I'm going to say it
Oh,
again because I've known her very closely.
you're
And
too
we got
sweet.
that deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got that deal. And yeah, I'll always remember it. Somebody, it was absolutely fantastic. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, no, but I mean, before I go into talking anything else, can we just hear you do Mairi and Mehfooz? Just a little of both.
So I just thought Mairi will keep for the end because Mairi के बाद
Okay,
कोई और
fair
गाना गाना
enough.
मजा नहीं आता.
वो भी सही है. तो Mehfooz, let's hear Mehfooz.
So this was Somni's reaction when I sang this song to her. Somni said, Palash, this is the most beautiful song I've ever heard. And this is the way it went. जिंदगी है धुआं तो क्या बुझ गई हर सुबह तो क्या रूठा मुझसे खुदा तो क्या हो गए हम जुदा तो क्या फासले थे हजारों दरमियां वक्त के थे हजारों इम्तिहान फिर भी बन के निशान तेरे होठों के किसी कोने में हंसी की तरह मैं महफूज हूँ तेरी आंखों के छिपे दर्द में आंसू की तरह महफूज हूँ तेरी आंखों में महफूज हूँ तेरी यादों में महफूज हूँ तेरी बातों में महफूज हूँ तेरे वादों में के किसी कोने में हंसी की तरह मैं महफूज हूँ तेरे कांधे के छिपे दिल में वादों की तरह
Man, that song gave me goose pimples then. It gave me goose pimples now. Amazing,
Thank you so
amazing.
much.
I mean, it's such a, and I remember such a, I remember the shoot that we had. I think it was
Yes,
in Film City, right?
yes, yes, yes.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
So
your memory is good enough. Okay, don't say your memory is good enough.
I'm actually surprising myself also.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Palash, while you were singing this song, I was imagining people watching you, in a ground with either their phones or their lighters. This bloody pandemic is just killing all of this. I mean, you've brought out this amazing initiative called India for Indie. Uh,
Yes, yes.
please talk about that.
तो मैं ना पहले I got my daughter's hairband.
How old is your daughter now, by the way?
Oh, she's 17 now. She's 17.
Wow.
Kind
Oh,
of 17,
my
yeah.
daughter is 17 also. So, and
Oh,
the yeah, older one is how old?
Kinshuk is 25 now.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Kinshuk is just he finished his graduation from UCLA and then he's acting right now. So you can imagine. So
Yes, 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 of course. I've seen him. Yeah.
yeah. So so India for Indie. I would just want to speak to everybody about this. I mean, first of all, I mean, independent music is something that's very close to Somni's heart. She's always worked for independent. Yeah, very always worked for independent music and.
Right.
I think Artists Allowed is the only platform that's always supported Indian independent music forever. I really wish somebody should realize that what she has done is actually absolutely path breaking and starts putting in more money into Artists Allowed, and that's what I always tell her that the only thing that Artists Allowed actually lacks is funding. That's the only thing you guys lack because your heart is in the right place, the effort is in the right place, everything. You have the right person heading you. I mean, everything is fine. There's no problem. The only problem is money. Anyway, chalo wo baad mein baat karte hain. So the thing is this, Somni, that I realized during these 7 months, 6, 7 months. But let me just tell people that there are two aspects to this entire thing. First of all, I'm not so upset about the COVID. I'll be honest with you, and I'll tell you why. Because of the COVID, the film industry has shut down, which is not a
Yeah.
very good thing for all the workers. But thanks to
Right.
film music shutting down, people are waking up to independent music much more. Much
Yeah.
more. I mean, the
Yeah.
last 7 months, the kind of response Euphoria has got, and all the other independent artists have got from the people has been absolutely mind blowing. If you go and see all the streaming sites, people are listening to Indian independent music all over again. And that's
Yeah.
primarily because there's not so much of film music coming out, and the whole cloud of film music has it's just मतलब वो तीतर बितर हो गया, और then you get to see some independent music. So that's one aspect to it. The second
Yeah.
aspect is that independent artists depend on concerts for their entire income. There is no other way. And
Yeah.
concerts have shut down. We were the first industry that shut down. We are going to be the last industry that's going to come back. So it's going to take a long, long time.
Yeah.
What about the musicians now? And that was my point, which is why I started this India for Indie thing. The sad part is the whole petition was that we're going to get signatures from everybody, and that
Yeah.
all those signatures are going to be sent to the government of India, to the prime minister, and say,
Yeah.
sir, please do something about musicians too. We are
Yeah.
a part of everybody's life. Just because we're a musician, that doesn't mean we don't have respect. That doesn't mean we are
Correct.
just hum log sirf nautanki hain. We are part of everybody's life, through the good times, through the bad times, through all the times.
Yeah.
So how about a package for us? One.
Yeah.
Secondly, how about an industry for us? Somni, there is no independent music industry in this country. The only
Yeah.
industry we have is the film industry, of which music is a part. And
Yeah.
I don't know if that works for me. It doesn't work for me at all, because simply because there's a film industry of which music is a part, that doesn't mean it's a great idea. I don't think it's a great idea, because eventually the only music they will support is film music. They will not support independent music. And
Yeah.
that is the whole point of having an independent music industry, which should have people like you, people like so many, who actually can take independent music in this country to where it actually should go.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we will keep floundering forever, and there are always going to be people who are going to be thinking, "Arey, mera kya, uska kya, iska kya." That's all always going to go on. There's never going to be a proper voice for the independent musician. There's never going to be a correct way, laws, rules of getting money from back for them.
Yeah.
We need that. And also, if we have an industry, we automatically will get funding also to make sure our
Correct.
videos get seen, our music gets heard. And that is what this entire thing is about. But sadly, we still don't have the number of signatures that I wanted. I wanted 1 million signatures. We have not even touched 1 lakh. So,
Ouch. Okay.
ouch, ouch.
Well, I think, I mean, as they say, boon boon se samundar banti hai. So
अरे
we
अब
will.
बहुत बूंदे चाहिए यार अभी तो नाली भी नहीं बनी है समुंदर तो बहुत दूर की बात है.
See, one has to start somewhere. I think
No,
the.
see,
Yeah.
today also that you're speaking to me, I think I'm so happy that you're speaking to me about this because so many, it is important. People don't realize that, अगर musician ही नहीं बचेगा तो music कैसे बचेगा? People are
No,
not
I think,
realizing that.
Palash, I mean, I will completely credit it to you that it just took one message, which was, I think, quite a long message that I sent you. But, one message that you said, yeah, let's do it. And I think that itself, proved the commitment that you have,
नहीं नहीं
and it.
so many वो तो तुम मुझे कुछ भी बोलोगी मैं करूंगा सबको इसके बारे में पता है everybody knows it so don't talk about
No,
this.
no,
Everybody
no, no,
knows
no.
even Alok knows this कि if somebody tells me something then there is no I mean उसके बाद कुछ नहीं है.
Body, I am feeling extremely embarrassed.
No,
No, but
it's important. It's very, very important.
yeah,
Like you're talking about Jasleen, such a fantastic artist. And,
yeah, yeah,
I will speak about Jasleen. Jasleen was part of the video. There were 76 artists who were part of the video that we made for Ladai. And Jasleen was
right,
part of that video. And it just took a message from me. And she said, yes, of course, I'm going to do it. And it was so,
right.
and let me just say this 76 people said yes, but there were hundreds who said no.
Mm,
So
mm,
it's if there is no unity amongst the musician community, musicians, singers, songwriters,
right,
अगर उनमें ही unity नहीं है तो मैं किसी और की क्या बात करूं. So I'm just telling
right,
you that it's important that there was Sachin from Sachin Jigar. He said I will feature in it. Shilpa came on board. Shalmali came on board. Akriti came on board. Anusha was there. Sangeet was there, and so
right,
many young new Amit Kilam from Subir Malik from Parikrama. They all came on board, and so
yeah,
many new artists. Who I mean, maybe people don't know their names, but they're all striving to be there. And there were
correct,
76 people who actually came on that video, and they all held placards. And I chose a different word for each person who was featured in that video. And my
right,
point was this only that all these guys are fighting for the same thing, and it's a very melodious fight. ये जो लड़ाई है
right,
ये झगड़े वाली लड़ाई नहीं है ये melodious
right,
fight है ये प्यार
correct,
की fight है.
correct,
So I
correct.
mean I would expect that all the independent musicians in this country should join this fight, and not only the musicians, all the people who consume music, they should join this fight. It's important, extremely important.
Palash, hearing you, I am actually going to do this. I'm going to speak to my social media team as well as the Hangama Music social media team. And I'm going to ask them to really do their bit to push this. And in fact, we'll start with even, the video, obviously it's on YouTube. So we'll
Yes.
promote that. I think, we've got to try our bit to just go out there and just create awareness because it is right. I mean, the more we think about it, we also are wondering when is life going to come back to normalcy,
It
right?
will take a long time, Swamini. Let me
Yeah,
just let me forewarn everybody. It's going to take a long, long time, and it is not only about the disease or the vaccine for it. I think there's a lot of fear in people's hearts also in their minds to actually go to very crowded places.
yeah,
And especially people who come to concerts. I still would not say
correct,
people are going to बाजार में लोग अभी भी घूम रहे हैं. ऐसे कोई बात नहीं है कि लोग नहीं घूम रहे हैं,
correct,
घूम रहे हैं और एक दूसरे को
correct.
वो प्रसाद बांट रहे हैं. ये लो कोविड, ये लो कोविड, ये लो. So but 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 जो कॉन्सर्ट में लोग जाते हैं उनको आने में अभी भी थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा. And what about the musicians, and there's so many
Yeah,
young kids, who have put their lives and I'm going to tell you something so sad. There's so many people I know, musicians, who actually right now they've started looking for jobs, they started studying all over again कि नहीं यार मेरे से म्यूजिक से मेरे कुछ होने वाला नहीं है. And that is what I'm trying to say. Why should they give up their dreams? Why can't this country
yeah,
stand up for them, yaar? Why can't this
yeah,
country? We are standing up for almost everybody. And I mean, music is a part of everything. Even the canvassing for the voting, for any film, for any birthday party, shadi, mundan ceremony, whatever, you need music. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
nobody wants to support a musician. Why, yaar? Why doesn't even? And I'll tell you why nobody wants to support a musician. Because everybody feels musicians के पास तो बहुत पैसा होता है, वो तो बहुत अमीर होते हैं. अरे भैया, म्यूजिशियन अमीर नहीं होते हैं. म्यूजिशियन एक एक शो करके पैसा कमाते हैं. और why am I going on telling independent musicians independent? Because maybe there's a lot of money. For example, if supposing a non-film, you know it, if a non-film musician like me goes and does a concert, I will get X. But if a
Mm.
filmy musician will go and does the same concert, he'll get X plus Y. It's a
Yeah.
fact.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now imagine a new boy who's coming or new girl who's coming. Obviously, it'll be X minus Y. You know that it's very sad. So what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say is कि इतना ज्यादा फिल्म को तुमने सर पे क्यों बिठा रखा है? I mean, what is the whole deal? You know, उसमें
Yeah.
जो जिस बंदे को देख रहे हो वो गाना नहीं गा रहा है, उसने गाना नहीं
Correct.
बनाया है, उसने
Correct.
गाना नहीं लिखा है, उससे गिटार तबला उसको पता भी नहीं साला होती क्या चीज, सॉरी यूजिंग दैट वर्ड, बट उनको पता ही नहीं कि ये सब चीजें होती कैसी हैं, उसको मिक्स कैसे होता है उसको नहीं पता, उसको ईक्यू क्या होता है उसको नहीं पता, उसको कुछ नहीं पता है, वो बस आके
Correct.
नाच रहा है.
Yeah.
तो फिर
Yeah.
नाचने वालों को दो ना पैसा यार, एक्टर को क्यों दे रहे हो?
No,
So
I feel your pain, and I mean, I don't know whether it's because I started my career as a singer or
Somni,
because I
no,
yeah.
Somni, it is not so much my pain, but just think about even the guys who are singing in the film industry. Think
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
They are
Yeah.
not
Absolutely.
they are not given their due. The
Yeah.
musicians are not given their due. The music directors are not giving their due. The writers are not given their due. Why?
Yeah.
Because the entire thing is dependent on an actor. हर चीज ही
Yeah.
एक्टर है, हर चीज ही एक्ट्रेस है.
Yeah.
और अब तो एक्ट्रेस क्या है वो कंगना जी बता ही रही हैं, तो मैं क्या बोल सकता हूँ? I can't say much about that.
But I mean, so I did a very interesting session in All About Music, which had these
Mhm.
4 lyricists, who were part of that session. And there was
Mhm.
Amitabh Bhattacharya, there was Varun Grover, and there was Swananji also. And everyone was saying exactly that giving the right credits to musicians is becoming such a challenge, or even getting that right credit,
It's so many. I will blame the musicians for it, and the singers and the. I'll tell you what. I'm going to say. I'm going to say this very candidly, and you know it. The problem is in the music, in the film industry, कोई आवाज नहीं उठाता.
Right.
उनको जो मिलता है उसमें खुश है. Why should a song be sung by 10-15 people? Tell me one thing. ये कहाँ का rule है यार?
Right. Right.
15 people go and sing a song and they're not even paid for it. Everybody knows it. They will not get
Yeah.
paid for it. Eventually, who takes a decision? We don't even the music director does not take a decision. Who's taking a decision? Nobody knows. Why are people agreeing to that?
Yeah.
Why are people? It will trickle down to something or the other, no? It will trickle
Yeah.
down. Or one more thing I will say, like, fine. I've always had the guts, not I've stood up and I've not really joined the film industry. All these people are great writers, whatever it is. Why do you have to look towards the film industry to earn money? Why?
Yeah.
You
I
can do
think
it.
it's the lucrativeness, it's the fact that the canvas makes it so much more appealing. And we've faced this, as a platform also, where we've been constantly questioned, where have you got a hit artist? And my question to a lot of people is, has iTunes ever given you a hit? Has Spotify ever given you a hit?
No.
Exactly. So today
I'll tell you how.
Yeah.
Right now, so many a hit is manufactured. That's what I told you. The only thing you lack is money. Only thing that you lack is funding. All these guys, amazing guys that you release, trust me, इन पे भी डालो ना 50-50 लाख रुपए, मैं देखता हूँ आएंगे, 500 million views भी आएंगे, सब कुछ आएगा.
Yeah.
I still remember a rapper in this country. I will not take his name, but long time back I saw his interview and he has said very, very openly. He said कि मैं 50 लाख का गाना बनाता हूँ, 5 लाख प्रोडक्शन पे, 45 लाख प्रमोशन पे. It's a fact. हम लोग उल्टा कर रहे हैं ना, हमको सारे के सारे
नाम बताने की जरूरत भी नहीं थी, पता चल गया किसके बारे में बात कर रहे हैं.
But I'm telling you now, the thing is this, that this is how it is. It happens in this country, and I'm telling you this. It's not that guy's fault. It is not anybody's fault. अगर तुमने वैसा system बना दिया है, everybody's going to follow that only ना. Even a young kid who's going to come in is going to say, यार मेरे 100 million नहीं हुए, मेरे 10 million नहीं हुए, 50 million नहीं हुए, मैं क्या करूं? The problem is, I don't think he realizes that 50 million or 10 million or 100 million is actually empty stats. It is actually nothing. We hardly have these 100 million, 50 million, 70 million, whatever. But for 22 years, even till the time this entire thing shut down, Euphoria plays gigs continuously. because people actually listen to our song. They actually
Yeah.
embrace a song. They don't come to watch a song because there are 500 million views over there, 50 million. So
Right.
what I'm trying to say is that is the whole issue. And I'm going to say this, that, why do people in the industry, the film industry, not speak up? Every time there's a promotion, you only hear music, but you never see a musician. How come?
Yeah, no, I,
You,
I, I completely agree. I mean, I'll give you an example. For a short stint when I was freelancing, while just like the Mehfooz project, I was also managing PR for Shankar Ehsaan and Loy. At that time, they had come out with this film Salame Ishq. It was a music launch, but all focus was on the actors. In spite of having someone like Shankar Ehsaan Loy, who at that time were in a flying phase. But you know,
and some of the greatest musicians we've had in this country. I mean, I always
yeah,
have this joke. I always joke with everybody, when I grow up, I want to be Shankar Mahadevan. Really, I mean, so he's a phenomenon. So you can imagine, if
he's
somebody does not
amazing.
want to
Yeah,
give respect to a Shankar, a Ehsan, or a Loy, तो
yeah,
बाकी लोग तो फिर किसी गिनती में आते ही नहीं है.
correct.
अच्छा,
So
तुम लोगों ने
tell,
क्या किया? सो अच्छे अच्छे जो रियली टैलेंटेड बंदे हैं, उनको तुमने सबको रीमिक्स आर्टिस्ट बना दिया. They are really.
yeah,
I'm going to say this very openly. A guy like Tanishq, he's an extremely talented boy, but
yeah.
eventually everybody knows him only for making the remixes. Nobody knows about his originals. Why?
Yeah. No, we actually had a great opportunity of working with him when we did the McDowell's project, and he did compose some great stuff. But tell me
Yeah.
this: what would you advise artists? While of course I think this initiative is something that needs a little more, much more power and wind to it, and at least in my capacity, I definitely want to do it within my brand and myself. But what would you advise artists? How do they sustain themselves?
First of all, stay strong. You have to stay strong. Don't take the easy way out. Don't use easy way out. मतलब तुम यार ये मत सोचो कि ऑटो ट्यून हो जाएगा तो मेरी आवाज अच्छी लगेगी. ऐसा मत करो ना. Stay strong.
Mm,
Make the right kind of music. Make good music. I'm telling you, you will find takers. Yeah, if Euphoria could last for so many years just making songs for ourselves,
mm,
obviously it is possible. Obviously it is possible. It is not. I'm not saying something great. If Indian Ocean could last for so many years, obviously it
yeah,
is possible. We have so many other people I can name. I mean, I can name Rabbi Shergill to you. He does
correct.
his own music. So many people I'm
Yeah,
talking about, they're all doing their own music. Anusha and Akriti and Shalmali, and they, in fact, right now Sachin Jigar are doing their own Gujarati independent songs. So
right,
ऐसा नहीं है कि तुम नहीं कर सकते हो, तुम कर सकते हो. And उसके बाद, after making your and the other thing is, please don't fall into this trap of doing cover songs. Please don't.
right,
It is just something that the streaming sites, the digital sites are actually encouraging you to do, because उससे उनको पैसा मिलता है, आपको कुछ नहीं मिलने वाला. You're just going to
correct.
have. I'm talking about. Let's just think about. I mean, 2 or 3 years back, I will not take their names. All the people who were supposed to be the big YouTubers or whatever, where are they? What are they doing? वो
Very
क्या कर
true.
रहे हैं?
Very true. Yeah.
और उनकी
Palash,
गलती नहीं है.
what do you think of this whole movement that's happening of live streaming? I mean, digital concerts. Has Euphoria done it? I mean,
Yeah,
have you been active?
we are.
Uh,
Yes, we've been doing it, and we've been doing it. See, I'm telling you, 6 months back, so many I discovered and I embraced social media. मैंने कभी नहीं किया था. I was not a social media guy, you know it. But I embraced it. I realized that change is the only constant in life, and I better change. And I
right,
embraced it, and I've really had a great time. We've been doing concerts. I've been doing solo concerts. I've been doing concerts with a band. 5 of us. We're doing concerts like that. We've been doing live sessions. We're doing Insta lives, Facebook lives, Zoom sessions. And plus, I'm almost putting out a song almost every day. I'm speaking to the people almost every day, because I really feel that this country, the independent musicians actually have a platform that they can actually exploit, and they can exploit it well. And
mm,
because there's no film music coming out right now, I am telling you, this is a golden
great
opportunity for
time.
all. Great
Completely.
time for
Yeah,
all independent musicians. Come out with stuff. Come out with your own brand. Come out with your own stuff, and show the people what you are all about. And actually,
correct.
in your head, please stop thinking about how many views and how many people. उसके बारे में मत सोचो, because उसके बारे में सोचोगे. See, things are unfair at a lot of level. Even I spoke about it, that there are platforms where your views just don't go up. तुमने जो करना है कर लो, नहीं जाते. But ठीक है, अगर तुम्हें 10,000, 5,000, 2,000, if genuine people are watching you, that's enough. And that's
In
what I
fact,
want to
I'll
say.
tell you something, Palash. When it comes to brands and whatever associations we've had with brands, we have seen them that, yes, of course, they also want to, have big names and names that have big social numbers. But trust me, at the end of the day, it comes down to, if those numbers do not result in engagement, then they don't want to work with those talent again.
And it's very difficult. So many doing
Yeah,
live stuff is very
yeah,
difficult. You know it. You
yeah,
yourself are saying live stuff is not about numbers. The live stuff is not about
yeah,
what jacket you're wearing and what glasses you're wearing. If you cannot engage a person through a virtual medium, you
yeah.
cannot make it. And why? I think it's okay. It's absolutely fair. Okay, let the fittest survive. No, let the fittest survive. And that has always been my attitude. That जो भी जिंदगी में मुझे चाहिए या मुझे मिलना चाहिए, वो सिर्फ मेरे मेरिट पे मिले। मुझे नहीं, मुझे किसी का एहसान नहीं चाहिए, मुझे किसी का वो कभी चल यार चल तुझे भी ये मिल जाए, मुझे नहीं चाहिए। तो आई विल नॉट सिट डाउन एंड स्टार्ट बाइंग व्यूज और बाइंग फॉलोअर्स और डूइंग स्टफ दैट इज गोना गेट मी व्यूज और गेट मी फॉलोअर्स and stuff like that, because I think and I insist, whatever I want it on my merit and on my merit only.
Amazing. So, Palash, two things before you go. One is, I want you to tell me, what does "make it myself" mean to you, as a as a as a
It means
as a tag.
it 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 means Somani Sridhara Paul and means Dr. Palash
No,
Sen.
yeah.
Yes, you tell me everything you've done in last 22 years, you've done it yourself. Now you made it yourself, na?
Well, I have had luck on my side too.
बट
Yes,
बट
but
वही होता है ना, अगर 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 अभी अगर आप सोच के देखोगे तो whatever I have done in my life actually is on my own, and it's me and the
yeah,
band, and it's all the boys in the band, and we've always stuck together and we've done whatever we could do. Maybe it was
yeah,
good, maybe it was bad, maybe it could have been better, but हमने जो भी किया अपने हिसाब से किया, and we have made it ourselves. So make it yourself. That is what, to me, that's what it means. Believe in who you are,
yeah,
back who you are, believe in who you are, back who you are, and just be proud of who you are. I'm not talking
yeah.
about proud as in an arrogant way. Proud of,
No, of
ठीक है,
course. Yeah,
god god has made us in a particular way. I don't need to be somebody else. I just need to be the best of what I can be, and that's what make it yourself means to me.
amazing. Okay, you have to sing Mairi, because that is like,
Yeah,
the end
that
end
that's
of the session.
that's a goodbye song.
That's a goodbye song.
Actually हमारे सारे गाने goodbye song है. अपना जा, bye bye, अकेला, bye bye, जिया जाए ना, your favorite song, bye bye, एक तरफा, bye bye, सभी गाने ही bye bye.
If I had a chance, I would have made you sing every song that you have ever released. But I think that'll be like a full day session, and I will make sure that I make that as a as a commercial gig for you.
I want to tell everybody that one of the first people I send every song that I make to is Somini. I send it to her
Yes.
because I know I'm
Yes.
going to get some praise. Secondly, I'm going to get some honest opinion, because yeah, this relationship, our friendship is really, it's actually a lot of things that we've seen, and we both know what we have done to reach wherever we've reached in our lives. And yeah, so everybody who's watching this program, this entire session, I just want to say this to all of you, that life is not going to be easy, but embrace whatever life throws at you, and if you do, you're going to last a long, long time, and you're going to last happily.
Sure. Lovely.
बिंदिया लगाती तो कांपती थी पलकें मायरी, चुन्निया सजा के वो देती वादे कल के मायरी, मेरे हाथों में था उसका हाथ, थी चाशनी सी हर उसकी बात, मायरी आप ही हंसती, मायरी आप ही रोती, मायरी याद वो आएरी, गल्ला करदी मायरी अखा नाल लड़दी, मायरी याद वो आएरी, बारिशों में लिपट के माँ आती थी वो चल के मायरी, तेरिया हो जाए तो रोती हो के मायरी, फिर से मैं गाऊं, फिर वो गाए, ठंडी हवाएं बन के छाए, मेरी हीरा गाऊंगी, मेरी गिद्दया पाऊंगी, मेरी याद वो ओ जन्नता लंघदी, मेरी मन्नता मंगदी, मेरी याद वो मेरी भूल गई मेरा प्यार, माए बस लगे महीने, मेरी याद वो मेरी याद वो मेरी याद वो मेरी याद वो मेरी। अब क्या करूं, कैसे कहूं, हे मेरी, अब क्या करूं, कैसे कहूं, हे मेरी।
Amazing, 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 awesome. I mean, I could just keep hearing that song, all the
Thank you,
songs. Yeah,
thank you, so many,
all,
thank you so much, thank you so many, thank you for everything, thank you so much.
absolutely. So it's been great. I am going to really try my best to push the word on India for
Please,
Indie.
please do. And
Yes.
everybody's watching. It's called India for Indie. It's on the change.org website. It's also on the Euphoria Instadhoom bio. That's my Instagram handle. It's on our
Yeah.
Facebook. It's on our video on YouTube. It's everywhere. बस और कुछ नहीं करना है, बस जाओ अपना नाम डालो, क्लिक करो, कोई डोनेशन नहीं, कोई पैसा नहीं, कोई बुलशिट नहीं, कुछ नहीं, बस जाके क्लिक करो, आपका हस्ताक्षर, आपका सिग्नेचर हमारे पास आ जाएगा. That's all we need. It's going to help some musician or the other. There are lots of people who are really struggling right now, guys, and we need to. I mean, it's cool. I mean, I'm trying to put up a very positive and a very brave front, but things are not easy. They're going to get even worse than this. You
Yeah.
have to help us, and if you help us, we're going to make your life more musical.
All
Thank,
power, Godspeed, and
thank you.
thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you so many. God bless you. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.